Right, it is the 29th of December 2013. I trust that you are doing well. My name is Willis Saburu, and our top story this hour: the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission is this afternoon set to dispatch its officials to all the 100 in Nyari Churo constituency ahead of tomorrow's by-election. We now join our reporter Kendagor Obadia, who is live in Nyari Churo. Kendagor, the IEBC, are they set for the big day?
Well, good afternoon to you, Willis Raburu. Indeed, the IEBC is set to distribute all the polling materials and polling officials, beginning with the clerks and the presiding officers. They've been here since morning. We are at a place called Keumbu Social Hall. This is the place where that will be the main tallying center for the IEBC in this particular exercise, which is of course set to begin tomorrow morning. And what has been happening is that the IEBC has in the morning session trying to sort out all the polling materials, placing them into their respective ballot boxes, and arranging the transportation of this particular polling materials to their various polling centers. We have about 110 polling centers in the entire constituency. This is Nyari Churo constituency, and there's been just a beehive of activity here: transport, ballot materials, polling clerks. They've trained about 225 of them, and all of them will be dispatched this afternoon beginning about 2 o'clock. That's at least an assurance from the IEBC officials. And so they are saying everything is set, they are ready, they've put in place measures in the areas where they think transportation will be a challenge in terms of road conditions. They made sure that there are vehicles, recovery vehicles put in place to rescue whatever kind of vehicle that will be stuck depending on the situation on the ground. But according to IEBC, they are okay. The exercise will kick off as planned, and that there is using Android phones beginning 6 p.m. that is in the evening tomorrow. But everything is set for now, and that they are ready. We have security forces on the ground. There are security forces here at the tallying center, and there are security forces in every polling center to ensure that everything is safe. Willis.
Yes, well, Kendagor, what seems to be almost a norm these days in all these elections is the talk of rigging, and I hear there's already some disquiet to that effect. Lonely barks of a wolf, or are they legitimate concerns?
Well, Willis, we've just had a press conference with ODM, the ODM members of Parliament who are here to campaign for Dr. Chris Bichage, who is a candidate for ODM. We are not able to run the clip now, but they've told us that they have concerns on how this election is going to be conducted by IEBC. They're already saying they have no confidence with IEBC in this particular by-election, simply because they allege that the IEBC officials, senior officials, were found last night in a certain joint within Kisii town with officials from TNA, and they say that the Jubilee has pre-planned to rig this election, sitting together with the IEBC officials who are supposed to run this election, and so they feel unsafe, and they feel that this is not going to be a free and fair by-election. At least that is an allegation from ODM. They have also alleged that a community policing team, popularly known as Sungu Sungu in this Kisii region, have been already trained and coached to cause chaos in the strongholds of ODM candidate Chris Bichage. Those are the allegations that they've just made a few minutes ago before we went on air, and we are yet to get to know what the IEBC's reaction would be on this. But according to IEBC, they've said there has been no case of election malpractice whatsoever, and that they have told all the candidates and whoever is participating in this particular by-election to give any information that would be deemed to be election offense. And so that is the situation on the ground. We're yet to know how this unfolds and whether the IEBC is going to take action on this particular allegation, and if indeed some of its officials have been talking closely to the Jubilee side, then we will have to know that as the day goes by. But so far, so good. we have no incidences reported so far, apart from the allegations by the ODM wing concerning their candidate Chris Bichage. So, Willis, that's the much we can report from Nyari Churo as concerns its by-election that is supposed to kick off tomorrow morning. Of course, we will be here to keep you updated on what transpires in terms of distribution of these ballot materials and the kicking off of this particular by-election tomorrow morning. Back to you, Willis Raburu.
Thank you very much. That was Kenago Obadiah. He is in Nyari Churo. Of course, we will stay on top of that situation for you, and of course, Kenago Obadiah will, and he will be able to furnish us with the details, especially of that particular allegation there. He will contact the IEBC, and then you can follow him on @Obadiah Kendagor, and also you can follow the events on @Citizen TV News. Now let's move on to other stories. And President Uhuru Kenyatta's appointment of 26 heads of parastatals continues to draw fury even from within his Jubilee coalition. Members of Parliament from the Meru region now threaten to reconsider their relationship with the government following what they term as unwarranted appointment of retirees and old guard politicians to prime state positions. Yet the Jubilee campaigns were anchored on youth employment. The disgruntled Meru MPs have scheduled a meeting on the 31st of December over the same matter.
It presents itself as one of the biggest tests yet for Uhuru Kenyatta's government, the appointment of 26 parastatal heads that has attracted fury even from within the ruling coalition, with the president being accused of recycling former President Mwai Kibaki's appointees, as well as political rejects in the March 4th general election.
Tumefadhaishwa na kustushwa na Mheshimiwa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta kwa kuwachagua viongozi ambao ni wakongwe, viongozi ambao ni wazee ambao wameenda likizoni, ama watu ambao wamestahafu, sababu kiwaangalia wote ni viongozi ama wazee wa miaka zaidi ya 66.
Na hii kipande wanagawana na wagawana watu wawili. Hii nchi ni ya watu wawili. Hii nchi ni ya watu 40, na Uhuru hajaongea maneno ya Nyanza. Uhuru hajaongea maneno ya West.
But it is the appointment of the former head of public service, Francis Muthaura, to chair the multi-billion LAPSSET program that appears to have drawn the most reactions.
Ati Muthaura anapewa kazi ya LAPSSET. LAPSSET is a very serious program which needs young, energetic, experienced individual, a personality that can move forward the economy of this country. Not just a mere person who retired in Kibaki regime is being recycled like hakuna vijana wengine wamesoma.
We also love Muthaura. We like him. He's our old man. One time he went on public and said, I am now retiring from public service. I want to go home and rest. And then the president just goes to bring him back to this stress.
While President Uhuru Kenyatta has previously stated that whatever appointments he makes remain an individual decision as president, members of his Jubilee team are already threatening to review their relationship with the government, with some hinting to a possible rebellion.
Likizo ikiisha wiki ijayo, tutakutana zote kama wabunge ambayo tutaweza kunjadili vyema msimamo wetu na katika serikali ya Jubilee ama upande wake wa TNA, ili tuweze kujua ni namna gani, sababu hatuwezi kuwa tunachezewa shere kila wakati.
Apart from Muthaura, others who have been appointed include former Kibwezi MP Professor Philip Kaloki to chair the Kenya Medical Training College Board and former Makueni MP Peter Kilu to head the Water Resource Management Authority. Esther Kahumbi, Citizen at 1.
Right now, trouble in Jubilee, well, trouble in court as well. Question: is a rift developing in the Luo Nyanza top leadership? This is the emerging question as furrow mounts over the alleged hefty amounts of money raised in fundraisers graced by Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero. The Luo Nyanza leadership, and particularly CORD-affiliated political leaders, perceive Kidero's recent activities in the area as an attempt to cut the size of Odinga's dominance in Luo politics. Jackie Maribe reports on the issue that saw a meeting in Odinga's Bondo home discuss Kidero's impact on Nyanza politics.
A homecoming party for Bondo legislator Gideon Ochanda yesterday became the platform on which politicians traded words following recent political developments in the region, perceived Raila Odinga's political stronghold. Fundraisers in the area that have seen millions raised, which were presided over by Nairobi Governor Dr. Evans Kidero and Rongo legislator Dalmas Otieno, has not just disturbed the area leaders but those affiliated to CORD, raised the alarm over loyalties and the intention of those said to be making huge contributions, including the president and his deputy William Ruto. Kidero being seen as taking a stab at cutting Raila down to size in a region that has been politically dominated by his family for years now.
If Dalmas was here, I would have asked him to go and tell them, because me, I've never invited these guys, and I will not invite them. One thing, the first thing he should do, as he brings 1 million for the Arambe, we want more money for our roads. We want money for roads. Arambe cannot build our roads. We want money for hospitals. We want money for schools. We want more money to be devoted to CIR, to develop CIR. We want more money to come from national government to county government to develop counties.
Nobody will give you any medal in talking. We are going to compete in production. If you are in the county leadership, if you are a member of the National Assembly, do not be afraid to knock on any door from where you expect help for your people.
A meeting would later be held at Raila's Bondo home, and Mata's regional leadership and Kidero's perceived takeover activities are understood to have dominated the meeting, attended by over 35 members of parliament, both from the National Assembly and the Senate. Jackie Maribe, Citizen at 1.
Right now, across our borders now, and the government has evacuated more Kenyans from South Sudan, even as the country remains under international pressure to end the strife. At this hour, thousands of youth loyal to South Sudanese rebel leader Riek Machar are marching in the strategic town of Bor to pressure the government to end the ongoing crisis. Government troops are currently in control of Bor, the capital of the Jonglei state it recaptured from the rebels.
Another military plane lands at the Wilson Airport at 9 p.m. Saturday, carrying 70 Kenyans evacuated from South Sudan after being stranded for close to 2 weeks in a country that has been rocked by violence. They may have left behind the turmoil that has engulfed Africa's youngest state, but the reality of what they have had to live through is vivid.
We had a very tough life there, no water, no food. But finally we are glad we are home.
Ninashukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa sababu without God hatungefika mali tumefika. Tumepitia kwa hard life. Tumeona watu wengi wamekufa hapo na pale.
Those evacuated say most of their property and businesses were looted and destroyed.
Wamechukua kila kitu yetu, hatuna kitu, hakuna hata ukienda saa uwezi nunua hata bottle moja ya maji. Wamebeba kila kitu ya watu. Hatuna nini wala manguo, kwa duka, kwa nyumba, kwa duka, kwa nyumba.
At least 1,000 people have died since fighting broke out earlier this month. More than 120,000 are believed to have fled their homes as tens of thousands of civilians have sought refuge in UN camps. South Sudan's military say thousands of armed youths loyal to ousted Vice President Riek Machar are marching toward the government-controlled town of Bor as the international community presses for a ceasefire, seeking to open peace talks to keep the young nation from sliding into civil war. Salim Bilu, Citizen at 1.
Now, police in Mombasa have officially launched the Nyumba Kumi initiative in Kisauni as fears continue to grip the residents following rising cases of insecurity in the area. Let's take a look. Kisauni has been plagued with a spate of insecurity, and now the area has launched the Nyumba Kumi initiative in a bid to resolve the matter. During the launch of the Mlaleo Primary School, Kisauni MP Rashid Benziba expressed disappointment following the mushrooming of illegal criminal gangs that are allegedly invading houses, raping women, and at the same time looting. The MP said the situation was getting out of control due to what he termed as laxity by some officers.
Hakikomi kitendo hicho, tutajua kuna ulegevu katika upande wa usalama, vikosi vya usalama sehemu ya Kisauni. Na sisi hatutakuwa na lingine. Ikiwa haya mambo yatazidi zaidi, tutaandamana kuhakikisha yule anahusika tunamtoa ofisini kwake.
On the other hand, Nyali MP Hezron Awiti said there is need to address unemployment problems among the youths in Mombasa.
Kitu muhimu ni lazima tujue vijana wangapi wako mtaani na wana kazi.
Adding that arresting and killing them will create more problems than providing solutions. However, Mombasa County Deputy Commissioner Tom Anjere urged Mombasa residents to support the Nyumba Kumi initiative and at the same time instructed all the border operators to register themselves with the police, adding that most of the criminal activities were being conducted using the border. The Nyumba Kumi initiative was recently introduced by the national government, and it is a simple concept that requires one to know his or her neighbors. All right, now leaders from the Abdallah clan in Garissa County have thrown their weight behind County Governor Nadhif Jama in the ongoing dispute with his deputy Hussein Abdullahi. The leaders, led by Ijara MP Abbas Ahmed and Garissa County Public Service Board Chairman Harun Mohammed, broke ranks with one of their own and dismissed allegations raised by the deputy governor, who claimed the community had been sidelined from the affairs of the county and that the governor was running county affairs through political cronies.
Making the constitution. The people who strongly advocated for this kind of constitution is the forgotten part of Kenya. You see the northern Kenya and the pastoralists. We are the ones who are crying for devolved kind of system.
The feeling that is coming out is a feeling that is disgruntled. It is one that is probably as a result of the teething issues, which are now replica in all the counties. So I don't think whether we have a major issue. What we have is just a storm in a teacup.
All right, the word there is cronies and not croonies, as I said, and as Director Kanzidene, he would say Kiswahili likuja na meli. Let's move on. Leaders in Baringo County have urged residents to preserve, maintain and promote their culture. Now, speaking during the marking of the Tugen Cultural Day, the leader said it was important for the people of Baringo